are all around us. We use them every day, some more than others. We're going to go and check them out. Although Gateshead and Newcastle are home to very many old buildings, there is a new one, the Gateshead Sage. It opened in 2004 and was part of the new Gateshead Quayside development. The area was originally an ironworks, and throughout the century it housed various engineering companies. By the 1990s, the area consisted of derelict warehouses. The only heavy metal you'll find now are the musicians that play in the 3 halls of the Sage Gateshead. The Baltic is named after the Baltic Sea and was used by the Hovis Company. The machinery was very modern for its time, and the building was designed in the 30s. The conversion took 3 years, which included inserting glass lifts, a viewing box, a reception and a cafe. This part of Newcastle used to be home to a shopping centre. It was called the Royal Arcade, and it was here in the 1900s. It closed in the 1960s due to its location because it's quite far away from the main city centre, and now it's a salon and spa. As well as its shops, the Royal Arcade included a post office, banks and a popular jazz venue. It closed in 1963. After that, plans were in place to build Swan House, a modern office block. The arcade was replicated to cater for Swan House workers. It has since been turned into nightclubs, a health spa and a radio station. The Holy Jesus Hospital was built in 1681, and for 700 years it has helped the people of Newcastle. This was the site of the Augustinians from the 13th to the 16th century. It was then the building we see today and served as a hospital and then a soup kitchen. It's now the National Trust office and a museum. This is the Corner Tower. It was built in the 13th century to section off different districts of Newcastle. It is just round the corner from the soup kitchen which we've just been. That used to be a friary. There were white friars and black friars, hence black and white, as in Newcastle United. These buildings behind me used to be warehouses, and they were built in 1720. They are now the Live Theatre. These are Grade 2 listed buildings. 3 of them were warehouses and 1 was an almshouse. Some of the materials used within the construction of the theatre dates back to the 16th century. The Tyne Bridge is one of the most famous things in the northeast, and it has influenced the Sydney Harbour Bridge. It was built in the 1920s, and these columns here, they were going to be used for lifts, but the idea never took off. The sign's still on saying lift to Tyne Bridge, but it just didn't work. The Tyne Bridge we see today had a couple of predecessors, a Roman bridge, Pons Aelius, and 2 more in the 18th century, but they were destroyed by floods. This is the side. There's quite some old-style Tudor buildings up here. The building behind me is Guildhall, and it was built in 1658. It was used as a town court. It's now used as an art gallery and a tourist information centre. These houses are from the 16th and 17th century. This one is Betty Surtees' house, a woman who ran away with the Earl of Eldon, where Eldon Square gets its name from. The rest of the houses and buildings are now used for pubs and clubs. Newcastle now has some new buses. They're electric and they run to the quayside. Grey Street is overlooked by Grey's Monument, a statue of Charles Earl Grey. That's where the herbal tea gets its name from. It's one of the most well-known streets in the north and was voted the UK's finest street in 2005. Originally to be called New Dean Street, after Grey's Monument was built, they changed the name to Grey Street. There's nothing like a good cup of Earl Grey. In the mid-19th century, Charles Dickens gave public reads in this very theatre. This street is the Big Market. It used to be a big market. Not as in large, as in barley. It used to sell wheat and things. But now it's just places to pubs and clubs and takeaways. In the 1930s, the film industry thrived, and that's when the Paramount Theatre opened. It changed its name to Odeon in 1940 and was open for 71 years until its closure in 2002. Well, that's the end of our Newcastle tour. Next time we'll be looking more in depth into Gateshead. See you next time. Bye!